of Supervisors Report with David Haubert. I'm your host, Dr. Marshall Kamena. Joining me now is Supervisor Haubert, who is the president of the board. Welcome today.
Marshall, thanks for having me.
Oh gosh, it's really our pleasure. I'd like to ask for Supervisor's choice, what announcements would you like to make to share with her?
I have a few, Marshall. First of all, Alameda County is this year host to Major League Cricket. This is the country's professional cricket league. It's in its second year. It's just emerging. Cricket is a popular sport around the world, but not as popular here in America. But we do have a lot of people that do like cricket, do follow cricket. And the Oakland Coliseum will be the host for Major League Cricket, teams from around the country. And really, these are players that come in from around the world to be on teams here in America. And they're going to be playing in the Oakland Coliseum. I'm really excited to be a host county of Major League Cricket. So we're excited for that. The other thing, Marshall, very exciting, the U.S. Army turns 250 years old this year. And you might say, well, how is that? The country doesn't turn 250 until next year, 2026. The Army was formed before the country was formed, and so we're going to be celebrating with the folks at Camp Parks with a birthday party for the U.S. Army. So happy birthday to the U.S. Army. And lastly, Marshall, I would like to mention one more thing, and we'll probably talk about it a little bit later in an upcoming episode. But Alameda County passed several years ago Measure C, which is to help early childhood education, what we call First Five, age 0 through 5.
It was a big deal.
It's a big deal. It's going to provide funding for child care providers in several ways. It's going to provide enhanced wages so that operators can afford to pay the early childhood teachers a living wage, $25 an hour.
About time.
These are people that take care of our children that historically don't get paid much at all. It's also going to go to help struggling providers that maybe need to make repairs to their facilities so children can be taken care of in a facility that is deserving of them. Lastly, it's to provide scholarships or subsidies for those that can't afford childcare. If you have two wage earners and one has to stay home and they can barely make ends meet, they have to both go back to work. Well, they can't do that unless they can afford childcare. So providing for subsidies for low-income families so that they can go to work or stay at work, keep their jobs, and allow for their children to be put into childcare. So Alameda County is the first in the country to do something like this, Marshall. And we just passed the spending plan, the 5-year plan, just the other day at the county. So we're going to see the effects of Measure C on the education of our children, which is great.
Boy, that is great. You always have something new.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's talk a little bit about the fair. Is that okay?
Marshall, my favorite time of the year, the Alameda County Fair.
Absolutely.
I wish they could extend it, but it's 3 weeks. It starts on Friday the 13th and goes through July 6th, Sunday, July 6th.
Well, they've had a few changes this year. Do you have the feeling that we'll still have an enthusiastic crowd with the extra energy that's been spent?
Marshall, I think that the Alameda County Fair is a favorite time of year for many people. We're going to have a great turnout. We're going to have a great turnout because there are so many people in Alameda County. We're one of the largest counties. We have what we would call an urban fair. As the city of Pleasanton and the county has grown up around the fairgrounds, it's not like it was years ago out in the hinterlands of the Tri-Valley. Now the community has grown up around it, and people want to go see the fair. I'm disappointed that horse racing won't be part of the fair. Very disappointed in that. When you look into it deeply, like I did, you come to find that there are forces beyond our control in Sacramento and in the Southern California Thoroughbred Owners Association that we couldn't fight that fight. We couldn't win. We lost the battle is what I would say, actually. We tried and fought hard. We won't have horse racing, but The fair has created new activities to replace that. Interestingly enough, you can go ride a camel, you can ride in a hot air balloon ride, and you can watch monster trucks crash into each other. They're even going to bring back a little bit of a mini rodeo to help bring back or represent the Western culture that we were created from. I don't know exactly what that rodeo is going to look like. It won't be the Livermore rodeo quality, I don't think, but it'll try to get close. We'll see. I have yet to see it, but we're looking forward to finding ways to replace horse racing.
That's a toughie.
It's a toughie, yeah. Very disappointed in the loss of horse racing.
Well, on that note, let me go to what we'll call SIP Around the World. That's a new event, as you well know, and it took place at the Martinelli Center. Now, you coordinated that event with the Livermore Valley Wine Growers Group. That's a lot.
That's a lot to say, isn't it?
Yes, especially after you had a few.
Don't start any rumors, Marshall. We haven't started yet.
No
but
doubt,
it is 5 o'clock somewhere, isn't it?
Yes, somewhere.
Marshall, on June 21 from 2 to 5 at the Martinelli Center, a county facility and a wonderful venue, we are going to host SIP Around the World. We're bringing in wineries and wines from around the world, 7 different countries. These are wines that you can't really get here in America without going through a real exclusive distributor, perhaps. But wines from Portugal, Croatia, Mexico, Hungary, Brazil, and if you think of Texas as another international
I was born
venue. There. Yeah, Texas is coming. The Texas Hill Country is a wonderful, wonderful wine region, Marshall, and they're bringing wines. You're going to have an experience that you can't get anywhere else. 2 to 5 on June 21st, you can find tickets at www.lvwine.org. The the Global Artisan Vintners Alliance, Global AVA, that is a economic development project basically created out of my office. I feel very strongly that the Alameda County Supervisors should be providing economic development opportunities for our region. We want to put Livermore wine region on the global map. So we created the network with regional partners around the world, these countries that I just mentioned, and a few others. France is in there, and we're going after some others in Australia and in Spain, and we have Argentina. Artisans around the world coming together to collaborate, either on Zoom or in person, to share best practices.
It's unprecedented.
Unprecedented, and it's a great opportunity for growing our prestige on the global stage. The Livermore wine region is sometimes the best kept secret, and we don't want to keep it a secret anymore, Marshall. We want to celebrate it and share it with the world. And so we're hosting the first global summit coming up, and part of that will be SIP Around the World. But the day before, we're going to have professional development time where we all collaborate on some topics. We're going to have a board meeting and be making decisions. We'll decide where next year's global summit will be. I think it will be Croatia coming up next year. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be, again, hosting people from around the world that will get to see our wonderful Livermore wine region.
I certainly know that our mayor for Livermore is very excited about this.
Yes. Oh, and he's been a great supporter.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on this edition of Supervisors Report with the president of the board, David Haubert, in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Supervisors Report with David Haubert. He's still here.
Thanks, Marshall. I'm glad to be here.
That. I would like to talk, if you would be willing to respond, to the Arts Commission and the grants that have been generated.
Yes, Marshall, Alameda County cares about art. We care about performing art and visual art, and we provide grants, often to students and often to other individuals, for creating art. We often have awards that we offer, and we really want to support youth in art. And so we give out grants to local organizations. There's a group in Pleasanton, a group in Dublin, and they bring in young students to teach them about art and to help them display their art. So for example, in Dublin, on Village Parkway is a wonderful art gallery that often hosts showcases for student art, which is pretty amazing. We're going to continue this, Marshall, because people on our staff are passionate about it. They're passionate about perpetuating art and the education of art, and they make their way into various festivals. When you go to the St. Patrick's Day Festival or the other community festivals, you'll see a demonstration or a showing of art from the students. So we're going to continue that effort.
It warms your heart, doesn't it?
It does. It really does, and it changes your perspective, and it changes your mindset.
The next topic, with your permission, would be something very close to my heart. It was established the year that I became involved early in politics in the city of Livermore. It's a Tri-Valley Haven.
Yes.
Every time I think of them, I think of what an organization it is. And I know that your association with them has been very much appreciated. They are around here to provide shelter for victims of violent attacks and assaults, including boys and girls.
Yeah.
In fact, if I recall right, and I think heard from you, they're the only organization that will involve boys who have been problematic.
Yeah.
Because that's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, Marshall,
Okay.
Tri-Valley Haven's done great work for the last 40 years, over 40 years, and thank you for your continued support throughout that entire time. Indeed, Tri-Valley Haven is the only domestic violence shelter that will accept families, often a mother with a young son. A young girl is okay. Many shelters will accept families with girls, but teenage boys, and often fleeing with their mother, a domestic violence situation, they won't take them except for Tri-Valley Haven.
Yes.
And so they're doing a great job. Well, the facility is old and run down and needs to be rebuilt, Marshall. It's going to cost, or we've donated, contributed rather, from the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, not just me, but my colleagues as well, unanimously approved a $2 million investment to rebuild. Demolition has already been completed. And in the meantime, people are moved into a local hotel. Construction is expected to begin in the next few weeks, and we're going to be building over the next year. So starting from right about now for the next year, we're going to continue to operate in a couple of other local, again, confidential sites. We have roughly 30 people that are being housed and held confidentially in places that, the domestic violence offender won't know where they are.
That's
right?
quite a service.
So such a key place to that. So I say we save lives. I say we. Tri-Valley Haven saves lives. We know that domestic violence often ends up in fatalities. So when a family member takes the courageous move to leave, they have to have a safe place to go. And when they do, they have to be treated. They have to be cared for. We provide, of course, food and education and all the medical attention that people need. It's literally a shelter from the storm. And people come to us in the middle of the night with literally the clothes on their back and not much more. And so Tri-Valley Haven needs to be rebuilt. We've done what it takes to bring in the funding to demolish, and we'll start construction. And I just can't wait till not only the groundbreaking, Marshall, but the ribbon cutting, which will be about a year from now, when we'll be in a new facility, a brand new facility. And then, Marshall, that's going to last us for the next 40, 50 years and beyond, because it'll be brand new.
If one is in a family where their service is going to be so much help, how do they really find out about it?
Yeah, that's a really good point, Marshall. Like always, the internet, Tri-Valley Haven, they'll receive phone calls that if you're planning, if anybody out there is experiencing domestic violence and planning to make a move, I would recommend they reach out to Tri-Valley Haven and maybe make the move right away or maybe plan for it, but get out of that situation.
Absolutely.
Nobody deserves that, especially the children who are so vulnerable, being victims themselves, but watching one of their parents being victims.
And my hat's off to them if they're accepting boys. That's really not the usual case.
That's right. The only ones in the county, Marshall, right here in Livermore.
Are there any upcoming events that you'd like to talk about?
Marshall, I'm going to put it out there. The fair until July 6th. I'll be at the last day on Sunday with the 4-H and FFA kids at the animal auction, bidding on some pigs and some cow, some steers, because we take that food and we process it through the local food banks. And so I will say, come on out and enjoy the fair.
Will you be wearing a green hat?
I won't be wearing a green hat, Marshall. I will probably wear a cowboy hat, just for you.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today. I'm Dr. Marshall Kamena. Join us for the next episode of Supervisors Report with David Haubert, right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you so much for watching.